So what do we got? What are we doing, Brad? What are we doing? Let's explain to everyone what we're doing.
Okay, so we're doing the Brad and Kylie. That's what it was going to be called, the Brad and Kylie.
The Brad and
podcast.
Kylie
It hasn't got another name at the moment. And then I thought I might get cancelled. So it's now the Kylie and Brad podcast. It doesn't flow as nicely.
Kylie and Brad.
Why would Kylie be before Brad? I don't know.
Look.
No? So I can't think of a single reason.
A myriad of reasons that
can't think of a single reason.
Could be the case. But anyway.
And we're going to talk about, amongst our various stories, the industry stories that we have.
Yes,
there are
plenty
probably
of those.
a lot of nervous people right now that we're going to be telling stories about them, because I'm not going to tell stories about me.
Look,
Surely
unfortunately, most of the stories are about me. So no publicity is bad publicity, though, right?
We have discussed that. Amongst that, we're going to talk about some technologies. Okay. We might debunk some myths. You wanted to talk about grown men crying at sunsets.
I absolutely do,
hilarious.
because that is something that is really fascinating to me, and yeah.
Yes, we might debunk some of those myths as well.
Let's debunk some. Look,
and
I
I've pulled off a stack of studies. I've printed them. I've even laminated some so they won't go missing.
You and your studies, all right? See, I have my theories. I don't want
numbers.
Facts.
However, it's not going to be a dry podcast. We're not going to go deep into factual stuff too much. We'll touch on it. We'll put the studies, probably a link up there somewhere where you can click on the various studies to see what we're talking about.
Okay.
So we'll cover that. Each week we might have a different, or each month, however often we end up doing this, a different topic. So we might talk about drugs in sport, or hormone levels, or stuff that's happening in our industry. So our industry is what, the fitness industry?
Yes, the fitness
more
industry,
widely.
Fitness industry / bodybuilding industry /
so health, maybe. It's a very broad industry. Everybody wants to be an expert in that industry.
Everyone is an expert.
And there's a lot of YouTubes.
Absolutely.
So we're just another YouTube, of course.
Well, we are. And I just feel like this is going to be a massive treat for the whole three people who are going to watch this podcast.
We're going to make Craig Lucas watch it. Craig said this wouldn't work.
He said that to me yesterday too.
He said, you're going to get 3 people watch. That's fine. If I'm one of those 3 people, that's enough.
I'm another one. Then we've got 2 already.
Right.
We've got Finn. He's forced to watch it.
We'll make Craig watch it. And I'm sure parents, siblings will make them watch it too.
Absolutely.
At least they can click on it for 10 seconds or something to get a view on YouTube.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
Look.
Okay, so in some respects, I don't care if not many people watch it. This will be a place where I can actually put some information that I can, instead of repeat myself, I can go, look, watch the podcast, then come back and ask the questions.
Okay.
So it
gives you a position of power to do that, doesn't it?
Saves me repeating myself day after day after day. So I don't know whether people know or not. I am the Protein Factory.
www.theproteinfactory.com.au.
So from time to time I will get called from the laboratory over to the shop. We have a wholesale outlet to explain something, and I guarantee it's the same thing I explained yesterday and the day before. So this allows me to go, look, I can't come over. Why don't you check out the podcast? Episode 3 covers why grown men aren't crying at
grown men are crying at sunsets. We know this.
So
we know this. They are.
We can talk about
the men I know.
Testosterone levels, where various Olympic athletes are. And yeah, so if that's all this serves, that's fine. And if I get to listen to myself speak for half an hour, you get to listen to yourself speak for half an hour, we will be happy too.
Look,
that's all we need.
Maybe. I just did tell you that I'm not a fan of my voice, so
I won't be
listening to myself speak for half an hour, exactly.
No, but we'll click it on mute so that you get the view. Number of views is important.
Exactly.
But besides that, you and I know a lot of industry influential people. So
we
will
do,
probably
don't
get
we?
Another camera. We've only just got 2 microphones and 2 cameras for today, but we'll probably get another 1 or 2 cameras and another 1 or 2 microphones. We've got Millad and Tracy arriving in Melbourne on the 24th.
I know. What's with that? That's sort of a reverse.
Why would you
I
move
am
to
asking
Melbourne?
myself too.
Yeah,
look, for the experience. Right?
We have no ski season to speak of, and yet he's bitterly cold for 9 months of the year. So who knows?
Look, he's Persian too, isn't he?
It's pretty hot over
used
there.
to heat and camels
45,
and shit like that. I know.
100 degrees. Yeah.
No.
I don't know why. And last couple of days were nice. For the listeners or the watchers, today is Saturday. The weather has just turned to rubbish today.
It turned to rubbish last night, actually.
it's
It did, but we did
pouring
have a
rain.
few nice
It's cold.
days. See, here I was thinking I was morbidly depressed, but it turns out I was just fucking cold. Right? So it really did lift my spirits for those few days. So,
Yeah, it was like spring was coming.
Good one, Millad and Tracy. Enjoy this.
Yep, I've been sending Tracy the screenshots from my weather app, so
Okay.
she can see how cold it is. Not for the couple of warm days.
No,
for the
I
12
bet.
degree
Yeah,
days before
yeah.
that. So, and she seems happy with it. That's fine.
Look, they've come as the seasons are changing, though. Really, they're not. The worst is not going to hit them until next year.
Yep.
So
Well, they might be somewhere else.
who knows?
By that stage,
Who knows?
Might move to Perth or back to Queensland.
You never know. You never know. You're predicting their life here, but who knows? They could stay in Melbourne forever.
Sure.
We have.
I think they're probably filling a hole in the market where all the personal trainers moved from Victoria to Queensland. Left a hole. Maybe she's going to fill that hole.
Look, I don't feel like we have a hole in the market for personal trainers here in Melbourne. I think we probably have a hole in the market for good personal trainers
Okay.
in Melbourne. Controversial.
Anyone with a YouTube and a certificate for?
Exactly. TikTok, certificate 4, you're on.
TikTok. Yeah. of
TikTok,
course,
the
of
TikTok,
course.
yeah.
So
You're
I don't know where this is going. This might end up on TikTok. Maybe we'll have to talk about to the kids
Look,
about that.
I think you've
TikTok.
got to. I think the way to go is TikTok. So I always used to bag TikTok and think, you freaking wanker, are you 12 sitting there on your TikTok? And now I'm addicted to it. And it serves really well for my ADHD.
Okay. Because it's very short.
It's very short and off it goes. So I've got always 4 things on the go at once. I'll be watching TV,
Yep.
background noise, BGN. I'll have TikTok going, but I'll have a game of solitaire too, which is very old person.
Okay, that sounds like my life, actually.
Isn't it?
I don't watch free-to-air TV, though.
Me either.
Okay, good.
No,
So
I
you got
do.
to stream
No,
something?
I do.
Oh,
Serial
dear.
Killer Mondays and
Oh,
Sundays.
okay. Yeah, no. If there's something specific. but
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I definitely will.
think
I like
we've maybe
to
only got one.
get ideas.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
There's a whole crime channel on Foxtel for that. Not that I have Foxtel.
No, I don't have Foxtel
Stream.
either. I don't have
Stream.
Foxtel for 10 years, but I do have Netflix, but
Yep.
there's never anything to watch on Netflix, is there?
And that's only $500 a month now. That's affordable. Netflix. Yeah.
No, I'm on the tight ass plan.
Oh, yeah?
$6 $6 a month, and
okay,
you got ads. That's the problem.
No. So Prime asked me, did I want ads?
Okay.
Or I could select the higher paid option. I can't handle ads.
You can't look. The ads, they have a
ads.
countdown on the ad. So
Yep.
it will say 30 seconds and it will tick down so you can watch it go down. So they do the 30 seconds.
Yep.
And honestly, they put like 1 or 2 ads in there and it gives me time to TikTok. And,
Right. Have you watched LG? I've got LG TV. So it's a streaming service that has old reruns of
Gay and lesbian, LGBT.
No. LG the brand.
I'm
What's good?
sure you have.
Yeah. So they don't have ads, but they have the ad breaks
Okay.
in all the old shows from the 90s. And
Okay,
it just
yep,
has just the clock ticking down with nothing for like 3 minutes.
Really?
Oh, it's infuriating.
Why they wouldn't put ads? There's an opportunity there
Put
for...
ads. I have to. You're making me wait anyway.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What's that on Prime?
No, that's on
LG.
LG. It's one
Okay,
of the,
yep.
before
Through
you
your
get
TV.
Yeah, streaming options. It's one of the streaming options.
Yep,
Is LG free TV where you can watch Deal or No Deal from 1997 or something. Yeah, it's all right.
You're a rebel.
No, because I'm going to listen
Really,
to
yeah.
Dead Noise TV. You know what we're talking about? Background noise?
Absolutely, yeah.
It has to be something I don't want to miss.
David
It's no good
Attenborough is
putting
really
Seal
good
Team
for
on.
that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's that monotone sound
okay.
of... I can't even do an impersonation of his,
No, I'm not going to do
of his voice right
impersonations
now.
on our
But
podcast
yeah.
yet. So this is the pilot episode, of course.
Yep.
We're going to get replaced. Who's replacing you?
Look, I once got called by an ex-partner's new partner, washed up Pamela Anderson. And that was such a fucking compliment to me.
Yeah.
All right? I love Pammy. I'm like, yes. So, because she's hot, she's intelligent,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I'm not really agreeing with this no makeup thing she's got going on all the time lately.
Don't pay too much attention. But VIP was one of my favourite shows in the 90s.
Really? Really? Look, I never did the
Baywatch a little bit, but-
Baywatch was cringe too, but yeah, VIP. But
Yeah,
I do love Pamela.
Yep.
Definitely. So I'll go with Pam Anderson. Who have we got
Well, I
with
was
you, Brad?
during the week. I did mention that maybe one of the Hemsworth. I've got too much hair, so
Look,
maybe
I think
Jason
so too.
Statham.
I know, I was gonna
I'm
say
thinking,
Jason
poor man's-
Statham.
I am poor man's Jason Statham.
I'm seeing
I've
poor
got
man's
guns
Jason
and a fast
Statham.
car. It's all
You
right.
absolutely do. And I'm blind as fuck, so I feel like I'm sitting across from Jason Statham right now.
Some dude with a little bit of stubble. I shaved yesterday. yesterday, not this morning, just yesterday, because it usually tides me over. And I thought I need to be clean and, too much grey. I haven't bothered to address the grey. I don't use grease. I'm just ageing gracefully.
No, go with it. Go with it. It's different as a man. As a man, you can be salt and pepper.
Yep. Okay.
You can do the George Clooney thing. As a woman, we kind of can't do that. I've got the grey spray happening in the morning and then it drips down your head.
Grey hair with a light tinge of purple or green or something through. I think that looks all right.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I've got no taste on.
I know.
My eyesight's bad. I've got dementia.
Look.
What do you want?
I think we've all got dementia. God, once you get to a certain age, gosh, exactly right. Selective dementia.
As I watch my friends grow older in this industry, I realise that this industry, more than most, there's a lot of dementia. A lot of short-term memory loss.
There is, but it's like...
Names shall remain.
It's really obvious to me now that we have such a new generation that's come in. I look at the industry even 10 years ago and... Things are so different. It's social media, obviously, the Instagram age.
It's very different, and people don't know who I am anymore.
Absolutely.
I used to be somebody in this industry.
Look,
I was never a competitive bodybuilder, but I was behind most of them, and then people go, I never heard of him.
Well, they wouldn't, because it doesn't matter, because you don't have a TikTok.
I don't have TikTok. I don't have
That's
YouTube.
Why.
We don't have a podcast. We do now, obviously. Well, we're going to see if this one works. If we get more than 4 views, we'll do another one.
Definitely. Definitely. I'll have to go home and view it 4 times.
Yeah. The topics will be very interesting that we do talk about, though, because a lot of it will be different to what is on YouTube now. What I've got to say is not that sexy. It's not, a lot of it's confronting.
I find it sexy, Brad. I could listen to your shit for hours. See, I have no balance in life, though. If someone talks to me about something that I'm not interested in whatsoever, then I really struggle. Well, I'm working on it. I'm trying to be interested in what people say.
Yep.
If it doesn't interest me. But your shit, I can just
And you did
listen
say
to for
that you were
hours.
practising not talking over people so that for this podcast you could actually have a handle on
I'm doing
waiting for you to
okay.
finish. I think so. This has worked okay.
It is.
I'm going to go to the notes for 2 seconds. I've written some notes. Now, there's no topics in particular for this podcast, but I thought today, while we've still got some time, we should talk about today's one. What the podcast is going to be about, we've covered that. Digital microphone and camera, we've covered that. Some of the guests that we're going to get on, of course, we'll get Tracy and Malad. Megan, who works for us, she's a dietitian. She's going to come in and give some advice. So she's just finishing her master's degree now, so highly qualified. So in the future, this is housekeeping. There's a couple of housekeeping things, actually. In the future, there'll be a section at the start of every podcast with the shit that I got wrong last week. I will say stuff, and I will finish the podcast and I'll go, maybe that wasn't right. I better get back and check.
Or apologies for anything really offensive we can do too.
I don't apologise that much. I tend to avoid people after I've insulted them. so is Brad around?
Right. No, it's gone.
Because Brad's embarrassed by what he said last time. There could be apologies. There could probably avoidance is at some stage you need to mature and not maybe avoid. Some of the topics we're going to cover in the future: drug tested sport.
I love some drugs in sport.
Yep, drug tested IFBB. Will these things
the
work?
enhanced games? That's going to be.
So I've got some controversial things to say about that because I don't necessarily agree it should go ahead, but that's not for this episode.
Okay.
So, as a performance chemist, we always push the boundaries in drug-tested athletes, how far we can go. I've had to occasionally go and get a letter from ASADA or Sport Integrity Australia to say something's okay. That's how far we will push it. So it's not clear. And in some high-prize money sports, we really do need to check. So I'm all about performance, but if it's going to be enhanced, how enhanced can we go?
Look, all right.
Or do we want to do this one today? Let's do this one today.
All right, so can I preface this, right, with that I am so pissed off with the Olympics.
Yep.
Like, thank fuck for Ray Gun. She's like your drunk uncle having an epileptic fit.
So on behalf of Steve from Next Level Fitness and myself, we're insulted as former breakdancers.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't let her
look,
use
I want
my
to see
fridge
you
box.
bust it out. I think you can do it more. Come on, you can do better than the Australian Olympic team.
Yeah, no, you reach an age where you shouldn't be breakdancing anymore. You shouldn't be.
You break something if you break dance.
You just can't perform. You're not flexible. You're not.
Look, I just Agree.
Yep.
Agree. I'll let you off the hook with this one. But the Olympics, what a woke fucking load of shit you've got. And I may have to eat my words with this one as well and correct myself in next week's episode. But you've got convicted pedophiles.
Is there? Look,
competing.
I didn't watch the Olympics.
I don't fucking watch it either, but I watch TikTok. TikTok tells me everything. You've got the chick.
The boxer.
Well, you've got the chick competing with the testicles inside her.
Right,
Come on.
So we can argue about that. Do you want to? No. Okay. So what are we going to do then? Are we going to do
She shouldn't compete.
the Olympics? I think she should have competed.
No. If you're producing testosterone, then fine. This is where the enhanced games comes in. Go to the enhanced games, or let the other competitor jab the test to the equivalent level. Like, it's supposed to
Do we
be
know what
fair.
the testosterone levels were officially?
I don't know officially. Is there any data
So
on that? They're not going to
Do we
release
know there was
that.
testicles? I don't know that we know there was testicles either.
Look, I heard
This is the-
testicles inside.
Okay,
So
you heard that.
On the grapevine.
So I don't even
Hermaphrodite
think
situation.
that's hermaphrodite. I think that's so. I think there's 36 genders.
Confusing. Look,
96% of people are male or female XXXY.
Okay, yep.
The other 4% of society are one of. It might be that there's 36 other genders besides.
So
male
are you
or female, and
talking
they're different
physical or psychologically here? I see myself as something physical. Okay,
Physical.
all right, okay.
So in the old days, it used to be. And is this what we're talking about? Is this the podcast for today?
I guess it is.
Okay,
It's just
good.
down
All
a
right.
rabbit hole.
So,
That's what we can call the podcast.
Because I spent a fair bit of time arguing on behalf of the boxer, the Algerian boxer. I don't even know her name. Because what makes you male or female nowadays is not so much the XXXY chromosome.
Okay.
That is one thing. But
Yep.
there's a gene, the SRY gene, which dictates androgen sensitivity.
Okay.
And androgen sensitivity is whether or not you become a male, because we all start female. All men start as women in utero. That's inside the womb. So, and I am speaking
then?
right
What
now
happens then?
well outside my field of expertise. Right, this is just my opinion. You have your opinion.
Yep.
So, sorry.
No, I was going to say, so the clitoris.
Yes.
Right? Does that develop into a penis?
I
know
think
we all
so,
start with the nipples
no.
and that's why you've got them. But
Yes. I don't think the clitoris becomes a penis, no. In hyenas,
Yep.
the clitoris is enlarged and is a pseudopenis, but doesn't.
And in chicks that run gear too.
Yeah, big levels of gear.
Absolutely. They've got a king prawn down there.
And the more androgenic the anabolic steroid,
Yep.
the more masculinizing or virilizing the features. So that's not what's gone on here, though. She hasn't used any anabolics. She's got a genetic advantage because even if in utero she would have otherwise developed to be male, the gene. Okay, and we don't actually know. There is a lawsuit now pending, so it's all alleged. We only allege stuff. Let's not get sued.
So there's a lawsuit pending regarding this.
As far as I'm aware, there was
Okay,
a
I
news
didn't
article
realise it'd gone
last
that
week.
far.
Where she has launched legal action against a number of individuals and a number of media outlets. You can probably guess which ones for defamation.
Okay,
and
all
in
right.
America, this is going to be huge because defamation in America could be $100 million or
Exactly.
$1 billion
Exactly.
payout. So there's some very rich people that have been targeted and some very large media organisations. And rightly so. Like, I love the defence, right? I love the little guy. I always do stuff for the little
Look,
guy.
I'm the underdog person too. I really do. But, you know.
Right, so your position is the Italian chick who got punched in the head really, really hard. She's the underdog.
She's the underdog. You know,
And
because,
my
you know.
position is the female boxer that's copying it just as bad as Ray Gunn did online. And I didn't do any memes. As far as I know, I didn't participate. I didn't like any memes. They were all funny about the Ray Gunn thing because as a former break dancer, you need some power moves. And without power moves, it's not breaking. Right? And I'm white. I'm not black. So for me, it's break dancing. All those people, it's breaking. It's not break dancing. No, me and Steve, we were break dancing.
You were break dancing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, that's the thing.
It's not
In
much
the 80s,
African-American culture
it was
in Noble Park.
It was break.
Yeah.
There's a heap of African American culture. There's every culture in Noble Park.
There is. When I was a kid, there wasn't.
Noble Park.
There's a whole bunch of maybe some Hispanic dudes and me, and I had a Serbian mate, but that was about it.
No,
Yugoslavian back then. But
Gosh, no.
it's
very multicultural.
Yeah, no, now it is. Now there's a lot of African culture. Maybe not African American.
Well, they have the
culture,
little
so-
Africa, the little street, Mogadishu.
I've never been there.
It's not called that. I think that's somewhere in Africa, isn't it? Anyway.
I don't drive through those regions anymore.
Okay.
Because when you pull up at the lights, chances are cars getting jacked up, wheels being taken off. And you're worried about $500 for one tyre. Once you've got no wheels left on your car.
The roundabout in Noble Park, you just got to hold your breath and hope for your life.
Oh, yeah, the one where the train tracks used to be. Is that still there? Have they taken that out?
It's still there.
Driven past
the train's gone underground now, like most of them have. Yep. But, the roundabout's still there.
Right. So I shoot in Oakley, but I never travel as far as Noble Park.
Right, we'll take Porsche down to Noble Park, shall we? Gosh,
I don't like that.
The common people.
It's actually in Clayton, to be honest, but I don't like going there either. Its car gets dirty.
It does. Well, I ran over a nail, thanks Noble Park. Anyway.
I run into nails in my driveway, the work driveway, because the cabinet makers next door to us, they probably think it's funny.
They see your Porsche.
Yeah. with the tax.
Exactly.
Where was I with the gender thing? So my concern is if we're going to say that somebody who is not androgen sensitive through the SRY gene, if she has Soy syndrome, that's what it is.
Okay, but how do you know this? So that's the syndrome that she's reported to have. Is that correct?
That's been widely reported.
Okay.
And not,
excuse me, I wasn't picking my nose then. I was just checking if the hole was still there.
Well, you weren't actually on camera at that time because I was speaking. So everybody wanted to pick her nose.
No, I've had this spit pulling up thing happening in the back of my throat.
Is that because I noticed this heater in this room? I've got some stuff to say about this building.
Oh, like it's
the heater
bad.
in this room is hot, cold.
It's
cold.
The last podcast I did, all I could hear after we played it back.
Nasally.
It was nasally. No, this sound of spit. I just turned into a little smiley, basically.
One of those things.
I learned something. It's not good. Like, say it, don't spray it. You might get a Hotwire across the desk.
What will happen is these microphones will get for the guests, and I think you and I will get those ones that come down from here with the things.
Yeah.
God, I don't think Rogan's talking on one of these.
Look, I think he's got one from the top. Look, I don't know. I think it changes. Look, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, back to the SRY gene. If that's the case, someone like Usain Bolt, who has, I think it's called the Superman gene.
Okay. Yep.
Or Eddie Hall has the Hercules gene.
Yes,
They're not actually called these things.
Yep,
this is just the. Are they also excluded or precluded from their sports for the same reason?
Well,
right?
okay, I see where you're going with this.
Usain Bolt is not fast because he's black. That makes him fast. He's fast because he's got genetic aberration, which makes him perfect for that sport. Now, where do you draw that line? Which that's going to be part of my conversation about the enhanced games as well. But I think you need to set rules, and obviously the IOC set rules, different to the IBA's rules, and they decided that she could compete. People with SRY gene aberration can get pregnant.
Okay.
So is that a man or a woman?
Okay, but then what's your level of androgenization? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Because she actually structurally looks like a male.
So,
and I know when I was running here, never. Everything started to change. You know, my jawline changed.
Okay,
everything changed.
So this is. Okay, so you competed in female figure?
Yes, female figure was the last one. Yeah.
Okay, so and there's even bikini competitors using Anavar,
absolutely, yeah.
which is an androgen. Forget the fact that everybody says it's anabolic and not androgenic. It's not. It's androgenic and not anabolic.
Look, I experienced it, absolutely.
Yeah, there is one study from the 70s that suggests it's got low androgenic potential.
Okay.
Compared to what, I have no idea, because it is structurally it's a dihydrotestosterone. So therefore it is virilizing. Why, as a female figure contestant, and not bodybuilder, figure contestant, do you, not you in particular, use an androgen or even an anabolic when you're not in a bodybuilding competition?
Well, you are.
Do you see?
Figure.
No, but you're not really.
Well, figure is the category where they're looking for muscularity. Yes. And if you're looking at overseas...
entry-level muscularity.
Well, I wouldn't say so. So say someone like Tracy Kyle. You're looking at her, she's
definitely not
physique.
bikini.
Absolutely. No. So, but then you've got your middle range. But then if you're looking at an international stage, IFBB internationally, those figure girls are big bitches. Like, they're not, you need to be...
Should they be, though? Can you build enough muscle doing push-ups and sit-ups.
Some people, not push-ups and sit-ups, but some people will be able to genetically. I see where you're going with this. I know what you're doing, right?
So you can't do it with sit-ups and push-ups, though. So you're going to do what? Go to the gym and lift metal instead.
Yep.
So you're going to lift now weights.
Yep.
Now, we'll take that to the next level. Are there some pin-loaded machines or weight-style pin-loaded, they're not pin-loaded, but, hammer strength or the like.
Yep.
They might work better than just cold steel on the ground, dumbbells. So we take that to the next level, right? And then you go. So through all sports, everybody's looking for the slight advantage.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's then fair to say, well, you have to exclude that genetic advantage when Kathy Freeman ran in a shark skin suit or whatever it was in the 2000 games, which was subsequently banned. There's some Nike or Adidas runners which were banned.
Why? Because of the 1% edge?
Because they were from carbon plating or whatever.
Yep.
I think you're still
too aerodynamic.
The shark skin suits were too aerodynamic. They took those away. So by saying that the boxer, although she looks...
So, all right. So if they took those away, you're fighting your own argument here, though, Brad.
Okay, that's
these
quite possible.
These 1% small advantages.
This is a thought exercise for me.
Right, these 1% small advantages are being removed from the Olympics.
I don't think they should be, because if I come up with a new breathing technique for you to do during exercise that will increase your VO2 max, your cardiorespiratory efficiency, and it's not a prohibited method, you should be allowed to use it, correct? That's what I do. This is what we specialise in. For me to have an athlete which has also got a genetic advantage, I think that's great. Whether it's boxing, whether you're getting punched in the head. Look, I would not get in the ring with Joanne La or any of the female Muay Thai fighters. Like, I would quit in 42 seconds.
Yep.
And they're actually women.
Yep.
With no, as far as I know, genetic advantage.
Yep.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what my argument is, other than if she qualifies. And there are probably bodybuilding women with natural testosterone levels of 5 nanomole.
There definitely are. But we can delve into that another day. It is definitely not bodybuilding. Even judging is not a fair.
No,
is
it an art or a sport?
Exactly right. Exactly. There's a physical sport. You fucking lift it or you don't lift it. You get the goal, you don't get the goal. Bodybuilding is a very different kettle of fish. It's not a performance sport here. It's people's opinions. It's different.
I had a conversation with a mate who got disqualified 3 times in a powerlifting competition.
Okay.
A seasoned powerlifter knows how to lift.
Yep.
3 red lights, 2 red lights.
Yep.
Left the competition. Not happy about it. It used to be my opinion that bodybuilding's an art, not a sport. If you don't like the subjective the subjective nature of it, go and powerlift. But then that comes down to 3 referees saying you didn't squat deep enough, or the bar didn't touch your legs up on the way up, whatever the rules are.
Okay, but they can zoom in on, videography. You can.
You can
the
argue
finalists, exactly right. It's very much black and white compared to something like bodybuilding, which is always a genetic edge for bodybuilding. That's what it's based on. Who has got the genetic edge and what they've done with it, and who's the best.
Who said that boxing is different? Who said that?
All right, I think because we're dealing with a dangerous sport.
Internet and the 3 or 4 people that are getting sued right now for saying that.
So wouldn't you want to know, though?
Yeah.
Agreed. Then don't you think, let me put it to you this way, don't you think that if someone was put up against another boxer, whatever her name, what was her name? Boxer in question?
Khelif, the Algerian boxer.
Yep.
Let's refer to her as the Algerian boxer.
The Algerian boxer. So they should be on somewhat of an even playing field.
Yep.
Let them compete with someone in the similar class. It has to be. That's why there are classes.
That's why there's weight classes.
That's right.
Agreed.
That's right.
It's a difficult argument, isn't it?
It is a difficult argument, and I feel like we're going around in circles here. But
it will be interesting though, because we're almost arguing this point too early. Although this might go for 2 years, maybe in 2 years we revisit this, because if she's going to sue, you would think that the legal firm that's represented her has seen evidence that what has been said about her in the press is defamatory.
Yep.
That's what the whole case is about. What you have said is not true. So that might be that she has undescended testicles. It might be that she, has high levels of testosterone. I don't know. No, we haven't seen either of those two things.
So when it comes to the chromosome side of things, though, that we're dealing with an X or a Y here, it has to be one or the other, doesn't it, definitively?
I think we should get a geneticist on at some point on this podcast. We will find somebody.
Love that. Who's it? Do you know any?
I don't, but Declan will. Declan will know.
Yeah.
Some people in his circle will have completed genetics. So, and they can actually then talk about whether or not XX or XY is male or female. And rather than take my interpretation of the studies or your interpretation of TikTok.
Look,
and
that's all where all the valuable information comes from. It must have been real. It was on TikTok.
What I say, it's all very difficult. It's unfair for me to have to compete against Eddie Hall for a strongman lifting competition, and I could get up to his weight class. Don't get me wrong, I could eat burgers and chips and get up to that, but would I ever be as strong without myostatin insufficiency? I guess we would describe it. So the reported information is Eddie Hall is super strong because, as you would expect, he can grow more muscle and his muscle fibres are stronger than a normal person.
And that is a myostatin.
Deficiency.
Deficiency.
So we can do that synthetically. And if it's a non-drug tested sport, should we? And that's where I guess we'll talk about that with enhanced games. So where will the line be? It is interesting that the IFBB drug tested competition coming up will only at this stage look at anabolics and androgens insofar as testosterone. So that's yet to be determined. But if it's not drug tested for everything else, then is it truly drug tested?
But surely it will be. Don't ICN test for the DMAs and all?
Do they?
Do they?
Do they?
Well, I have heard of athletes being banned before for substances in pre-workouts in Australia.
I've heard...
Maybe when it was IMBA, not since we're now ICN. I don't know what the current testing schedule is.
So under the WADA testing regime, there's more than 2,000 prohibited substances.
Yep.
Under ICN, I've got no clue. Under INBA, there was a limited number. And there's a testing organisation in Flemington that will do 200 compounds. But if WADA says there's 2,000 banned...
Excuse me, I'm going to belch. Sorry, lady.
If there's 2,000 banned substances and only 10% of those being tested, is it truly drug tested? I'm going to say
not really.
no.
If you can use meth your whole prep and then...
so I get infuriated this every time a footballer goes positive for cocaine and cocaine is performance enhancing. So I just assumed it was banned in sport. It's only banned in competition. So you can use cocaine during training all you like.
So hang on.
Yeah.
Would you get an edge, though, from cocaine?
Yeah.
But I would think that what goes up must come down, and you may in that moment, but over the long haul, the damage that it's going to do to you is not going to make you a fantastic athlete.
I agree, 100%.
Okay,
However, if I'm a runner and I want to increase my VO2 max...
But pre-race, rack it up a line in the toilet before you go out and race. Is this what we're talking?
No, I'm talking, during training.
Okay,
If I can run farther, jump higher, work longer, my VO2 max will increase accordingly. As long as I'm not using levels which are rhabdomyolytic, that's breaking down muscle tissue, I think I should be okay. And cocaine is better than DMAA. It is better than caffeine.
Because I have heard cocaine is one of the worst things for, obviously, heart. Look at Diego.
Hearty dose, of course.
That's what about brain function? There's negative effects on that too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying it was healthy.
Okay.
Pre-workouts generally.
We're all pro-coke here.
I'm going to say pre-workouts aren't healthy either.
Oh, look, I don't.
And during the DMAA days, there was a football player a week dying on football fields linked to pre-workouts. Yeah, that's what. But there hasn't been a young guy die on a football field for a long time.
Other than from a head injury or something like that.
It's a whole other podcast. Concussion and the obligations that parents should have when they put their kids in sport. Because I'm carrying injuries from when I was a kid. I'm sure you've got injuries. Beck, my wife.
I think I was dropped on my head a few times as a baby. I won't lie.
I did gymnastics as a kid. That's how I became a breakdancer.
Have you got any video evidence of this breaking that I keep hearing about?
I can do a backspin.
So you're not willing to show me bust any moves or anything because you're too old?
No. New Doherty's posing room?
Yep.
That looks good for a backspin right there.
Okay.
When I go to Doherty's at some point in the next few weeks, I think I'll break out a windmill, or I did do a
You
windmill
have to wear some
at a
tights
wedding.
to in the old jeans. You'd have to dress appropriately, wouldn't you?
Streetwear.
Really?
You can't break in tights.
Cross colours.
You're
Remember
going to
those?
get beaten up.
Big
It's bad
jeans.
enough being a break dancer in Australia. You're going to get beaten up anyway, right?
You are when you're dressed as crisscross. Young people won't know what crisscross is, but they're missing out.
I never dressed up as crisscross. I think they wore their pants backwards, didn't
They did. Mac Daddy.
And one of them's dead, if not both of them are dead now.
Really? So the same with it, yeah.
Didn't live.
It was a lot. Same with the kid from the freestyler. Freestyler, yeah. The kid with the dreads. He's dead.
Yeah, because I was only actually really a pseudo culture. You know, it's not. I was a kid from Noble Park.
Yep.
And then I moved to Pakenham.
Okay.
So, I escaped the rough.
Yeah, So
riding on the tops of trains and spray painting and getting electrocuted on the third rail.
This is in Noble Park or in Pakenham?
Yeah, no, this is Noble Park,
This is Noble Park,
obviously, because
I was
there's
gonna say,
not a lot
Pakenham,
of
like hear the
third rail
banjos
action.
playing, right? You got pretty hair.
Funny, I went to Karawatha High School. That's the same high school Tommy went
Yes,
to.
we get work experience kids at the gym that I run from Karawatha. Yes.
So Tommy won't be on this podcast. He's too tall, too tan, too good looking. He might do a dial-in version. We might
Really?
do just a vocal with him.
Exactly.
He
Look,
makes
I
me look like
can't
Danny DeVito.
stand hot people. That's why I don't train at all these hot gyms. You know.
His partner Kanya, they're going to have super good looking kids.
Really,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Tommy won't be on the podcast, but he went to the same high school. I just wonder whether he was breakdancing.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 25 years younger, but
Yeah, probably not then.
no, I imagine he probably
Don't
was.
they do? They
I think it's
crump
cultural.
or something now, don't they? Isn't it called something
Beck
different?
and I were going to learn that shuffle dance they do.
Yeah.
That's quite difficult, the shuffle
Yes.
dance. We'll still like to learn it because can you imagine
I can picture
going
you
to
and
one of your
Beck.
kids' friends' weddings or whatever and then breaking out a shuffle dance?
Yes.
Anyway, we digress.
Finn, just be careful, all right? Your wedding day
I
in
don't
the
think I've
future.
ever seen Finn dance.
No,
I'm
Mum and Dad are going to be busting
No, I'm
moves.
sure he's at the blue lights are coming back. Blue light discos. Did you ever go
Lola
to a blue
had
light?
her school disco last night, I'll be honest.
Right. Was that good?
Look, I tried to stay, but she was like, are you leaving? Are you leaving? I'm thinking, I know you want me to leave. I ain't going to leave.
What's that? Grade 5, grade 6?
Grade 4. Yeah, grade 4.
Grade 4 disco.
The 4 to 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they let loose.
Yeah, good.
What is she's mouthing something to me now. What? What's wrong? Grade 3 to 6. I stand corrected. The grade 3 to 6.
That's a wide range.
It is a
age
wide range.
Yeah.
It is. But then the kids, they
Grade
look,
6 boys hitting on the grade 3 girls, that would be problematic.
they look big too. Like they're
Everyone's
like,
taller than me.
gosh, the
Everyone's taller than
girls
me.
have knockers. It's like they're big kids
Is
these
that,
days.
well, okay, that's another podcast right
definitely
there. We
is.
can
And
probably
that's what
discuss
I
in the
want to talk
future
about.
is
Yep.
hormones in food
Yep.
and has that impacted upon the development of children? There's a serious topic we can cover, actually.
Absolutely has.
I'm gonna say
Periods
that's
are
all
starting at
bullshit.
9
It's
now.
not true. But we can discuss endocrine disruptors,
Okay.
actually one
Yep.
of my fields of expertise.
Yep.
So, not to be arrogant about it, it's just something I know
Be
a
arrogant.
lot about. So there's a podcast. That's what this podcast is about, is deciding what our other podcasts will be about.
Mm-hmm.
And people can decide whether or not the information that we have will be
It will be.
valid
you
enough
know,
to tune in for.
I
think it will be.
I think it will be too. I think it will be entertaining, educational.
Yep.
We will have more structure than we do today.
Yep. Yep. I'm
We
just
probably
looking at my
fucking won't,
notes.
but let's go with that. Yeah.
Because we'll write some notes and I'll have it so that I can actually read it. So, other things we might cover in our podcast in the future.
Podcast.
What did I
Sorry,
say?
if you fuck up, I'm going to be right on it.
No,
Let me
that's
tell you,
fine.
you called it a podcast.
Yeah, it's English is a second language for me.
Podcast. Yeah, you've been
I'm
speaking
a
them.
terrible speller. I care not for spelling.
Really?
Actually, I'm a bit
Oh.
anal about it these days.
Really? No, grammar's my thing. I'm a wordsmith.
All right, so I moved from being a scientist into the legal industry, and I really didn't care about English as a scientist. I think it's a waste of time subject. And lawyers are all about language and comma placements because they can actually change a report, the meaning of the words in a report, and you could get tripped up on that if you get.
Oh, definitely.
court. So-
Everything's word placement. You're right. Exactly.
So I had to care for a little while, and I've found I've come back to this industry. I've been back for about 10 years, and I do care about the spelling these days. I will check.
See, most people you deal with, well, I shouldn't say this, I'm generalising. A lot of people in the bodybuilding industry and fitness industry are just like, protein, steroids.
That's not true
So
at
you probably
all.
don't need it. You dumb yourself down a little bit.
Somebody was referred to come and talk to me the other day, and they happened to tell Beck that they've allowed plenty of time because they were warned that Brad likes to talk a lot.
Brad does like to talk a lot.
I do. Which
is good.
Okay,
But you've got a lot of stuff in there, interesting things to say.
I have imposter syndrome, so I don't feel worthy of the information that I disseminate. I'm highly educated, but I'm often talking outside my field. So,
Dude, you are, like I said, a genius savant.
No, but I can't. I can't accept that you will just accept what I say, because that's why this industry's in such a mess right now.
So you have to factually back everything.
I factually back it, and I start with
Yep.
the start of the story.
Okay.
And I know that can get laborious, and people won't tune out. I can't listen to him anymore. He talks too much. But I need you to know that I know what the information that I've got comes from a progression of information.
Absolutely.
That's what I like. So we'll try not to do that on this podcast, but we will have all the links to the information
Yep.
in it. So there's a button up there. Oh, I'm going to put Google Scholar. I don't like when people Google
Scholar?
stuff. Yeah, so Google Scholar is a part of Google where you get to put in a search term, testosterone and testicle size or something, and it will bring up all the studies. So then you get to read the abstracts of the studies.
Okay.
So you're not reading what a famous podcaster would think about testicles and testosterone, or liver and diet or whatever. You get to read what the researchers have found, not what they think, what they have found.
Or whoever's paid for their Google to be up highest on the page in the SEO function.
That's true, and that doesn't really happen in Google Scholar at all.
Okay,
So it's only academics. It's a little bit dry reading. You can get a lot of the full texts. And that's the best place. So that link's going to be up there.
Okay.
Now,
well, it has to be up there
subscribe.
now that you pointed out.
Yeah, subscribe. There's a button down there for subscribe. I've watched heaps of YouTubes, right?
God,
and
you
I
feel
know
like
everything.
a wanker saying that even.
You can leave
Hit the
a
button
comment.
below to
Hit the button below to subscribe, and leave a comment.
Because
we're not
if you
going to read it.
No, because if you leave a comment, it does something apparently, and it puts them up the.
We get.
It bumps you up the list. Yeah, yes, exactly.
views.
So that's why they want comments. They don't actually give a fuck about what people have to say. Or
So we're looking for Tracy and Malad and others to share that with their 100,000 followers on Instagram, so that then they can all subscribe and leave a comment, even if it's just a smiley face. So then we can get. It'd be us and Rogan side by side. Maybe Spotify would give us 90 mil.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Look, you don't know.
No.
You got to think big in life.
I hope they do, because Craig would have to eat his words then.
And that would be better than the 90 million. To me,
Yeah,
more
to have
satisfying.
Craig to have to
Absolutely. He said, you guys are shit.
Yeah,
no one gives a shit about what you've got to say.
And they don't.
It's probably true.
You know what I like, though?
Yeah.
We've got a good chance on this, because
Okay.
there's 8 hours in a workday.
Yep.
Most people listen to podcasts or watch podcasts while they work. If every podcast comes out once a week, once a fortnight, once a month, there's not a lot of content to actually, once you get into it.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance people would tune in just to see who we've annoyed this week.
I think so too.
Yeah, the idea is not to get sued, but to annoy people, that's completely fine. Comment below, subscribe, Google Scholar.
Yes.
How's that?
Yes,
I've been practicing that for 2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
And you didn't mess it up.
No,
So
I didn't.
practice
I didn't swear today. Did I swear?
I swear enough for both of us. We
No,
could
'cause
start
I
a
swear
swear
a
jar
lot.
here and
We could do that. I swear a lot. I swear without thinking about it.
Me too.
I am cognizant that Lola is just over there.
I will give you the hot tip. She's heard it all before. She knows.
Does she
She
swear?
knows if she repeats it. She has asked me, Mum, there's a swear word in that song. Can I say it? And I'm like, yeah, go for it. Let loose on the song, But if I catch you, in real life, that's it. That's it.
Does she like Megan the Stallion? Megan the Stallion. Does she
Megan
like?
the Stallion. Do you know who that is?
No. So when I train, I don't go to the gym that often.
Yep.
I've got a membership. When I do go, I listen to Nicki Minaj and Megan the Stallion, and it's in my ears.
So
but I
gay.
sing it
Am I
all
allowed to say that?
loud.
That's not that's not negative against gay people at all. But it's actually
No.
You
So-
are training to Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's outside my general musical genre.
Yep,
like I
yep.
might be punk rock, maybe pop punk.
Yep.
Early Blink-182,
So mine's
that
very
style of
eclectic.
music.
I can listen to a love song and then I've got Rage Against the Machine and
Can't listen to
Metallica
love
after it. So, it's
Oh,
it
Rage
depends.
Against the Machine, awesome, right? So, although my music is not, I'm one of the Gen Xers, Triple J, right? Youth radio.
Angsty teenagers. Yes,
No,
I
no,
love
no.
Triple J.
The
I love
largest
Triple J.
listening audience is actually
Absolutely.
Gen X males.
Yeah.
So I'm just typical. I thought I
Yeah.
was keeping hip with the youth, but no, they don't listen to
look,
Triple J anymore.
I don't. They probably don't. They do. Look, Triple J is always going to be cool. That Hottest 100.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what day of the year it is, but I definitely tune into that.
It's not Australia Day anymore. There's another whole conversation for
Really?
us. Because I'm woke, right? So this is the thing. I am different to everybody else
What do you
in this
mean you're
industry.
woke? What do you
So
mean?
I think they should change the date because...
Dude,
No. Yes.
any other country, are they going to go, they've
For their
got a
Indigenous
day?
people. Look, I don't know.
But how is it?
Is it...
Let's not link it to that. Let's have a
Okay.
separate day.
Yeah, okay.
Have a separate day.
Yeah.
Australia Day. I want to be, sucking on a VB and some Winnie Blues and...
I don't drink VB
Down the-
and I don't smoke.
Right, but it's Australian,
so you've got
right?
it right there, right,
Okay.
with your Southern Cross tattoo
Exactly. Exactly.
and your CFMEU membership.
That's right.
Nothing
Driving
against
in
the
my
CFMEU.
in my Commodore.
In the CFMEU's defence, I did a lot of asbestos litigation about 10 to 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had to go back through the historical records. And it was actually the Builders Labourers Federation,
Okay.
so which ultimately became the CFMEU when they got disbanded, just like the CFMEU is going through now. It was them that pushed for asbestos to be banned in at least Victoria in the building industry.
Interesting.
So while it may have been seen as a corrupt organisation or whatever it was at the time, the one thing they did do was push the government to ban asbestos.
Okay.
And I think a lot of that push to have Caesarstone banned, which is also causing silicosis, which we've known about for a long time. This is not new information. There's studies that are 30 years old. Also an area of expertise
Yes.
of mine, as you can
Okay.
tell. And something I'm passionate about because I don't think workers should be killed at work. That's just a side. No one really cares.
Look.
Whether that's your personal trainer and that's 300 kilo barbell.
Yep.
Speaking of
Say 300 kilo
that, my mate AJ, he's downstairs right now. At one point, with some of the stuff that we will talk about in the future, we had him bench pressing 110 kilo dumbbells.
Okay.
In fact, you'll probably find at Noble Park Next Level there is a pair
So
of
we've-
110 kilo dumbbells bought just for this
No,
exercise.
I think they were taken to Clayton Next
Right.
Level Fitness, to be honest. I think
Okay.
we've
no one
got...
can lift them.
We've got
no one
90s.
can actually physically carry them with two hands, let alone
You
one
can't.
hand.
You can just dust around them. I know. They're really just... Look, they are impressive
Yep.
because skinny dudes will come in and be like, what's your dumbbell rack go up to? And I'm like, we got some 90s there. I want to cry. He's like, the guy's like, on another day, I haven't warmed up. I've already trained today.
I've just watched AJ drive away, otherwise we would have brought him up.
Yes.
But I've watched him at 120 kilo body weight
He's a big boy.
bench press these
He's a big
two
boy, though.
dumbbells.
He's a unit.
Yeah.
A unit. A unit.
Yes. A eunuch.
But he's an islander. He's not a eunuch.
Is that,
Is he a
that's
eunuch?
racist to call.
Is he a eunuch?
I don't think he's a eunuch. No.
I can't call him an islander.
I don't know. Is that okay? You can't.
All my friends who are islanders call them themselves.
He's not the biggest islander on. Oh, okay. So we've got bigger,
So we want to get to
heavyweight.
genetic advantages, though.
Yeah. So islanders are it's very strong.
Absolutely.
Very strong. I don't want to get punched by an islander.
No.
Hayes Hepe, one of our bare knuckle boxers. He's an islander.
But you're telling me it's racist to call someone an islander?
Oh, you
What do I
said it was
call-
okay.
what do I say
don't
then?
know. I need to. This
What do
will be
I
one of
say?
those apology sessions in the next
Sorry,
podcast.
should we?
You know who I'm going to ask?
Should we rotate to a certain degrees on the world map and say an individual from
New Zealand
It's from-
or the Southeast
Pacific.
Pacific that's not necessarily Asian.
and you can't call it an island because that would make him an islander. But anyway,
So we're going to get cancelled.
exactly.
No, okay, so I'm not okay. So my friend AJ's from New Zealand,
Okay,
and he's
yep.
Indigenous.
Isn't indigenous?
And,
yes.
and to be
there.
honest,
yes.
I think if the Maoris or the Murrays,
Maoris, I think if you're Maori, they say it like
Maori,
that. Yeah, Maori, yeah.
If they got together and wanted the date for Australia Day changed
Yep.
in New Zealand, I think it'd get changed. I don't think anybody would argue with them.
Well, they haven't, but that's the difference between when you go to New Zealand, it's very much their culture is based.
New Zealand is Dandenong in 1973.
Okay, maybe in some points, but I think they've got it right with their Indigenous culture. I think everyone is about that. I think
there's more representation.
Definitely more representation.
I think there's only 3% of Australians.
I think so too, but I think the way...
And I've had good Aboriginal friends over the years. I know lots of Aboriginals.
Yeah.
And I always stick up from, and if they want the date changed, that's their day. I've alienated half my market right now. No one's coming to the protein factory right now.
So you voted yes, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Did I vote? What was the vote? Yes?
I
No?
don't think I fucking voted. I think I just took the fine. The fine was $20. I'm like, man, I'm not going to go out for... I'll leave my home for $20 and pay it.
I didn't vote in the elections for $20, never got a fine.
Yeah. Well, this fine was actually $20.
You actually got it?
There you go. Yeah, I got the fine.
Okay.
Got the fine.
Yep.
So...
No, I'll show it to vote now. I don't think you should whinge about stuff unless you do vote, is my new opinion. It's only maybe 10 years old. Before that, it was like I was too punk rock to vote.
No, I whinge about everything.
Right.
I whinge about everything.
But you don't vote.
Look, I have voted before.
Yep.
I've voted, and there's days when I've just had other shit on and thought...
Yep. I like...
I'm going to go
postal
train
voting
instead.
because I do it in my time.
Well, that's what I did. That's what I started doing.
Internet voting. I'd vote if it was.
That's what I've started doing. Yeah,
Yep.
I've actually started doing the pre-vote.
Yep.
When you go, that's so much better.
Yep.
Who wants to wait in that damn queue?
Yep.
Give you a day up. You know
what I don't
have
like?
people throw what are they? The brochures in your face constantly.
Confrontation. I'm non-confrontational generally. I don't like standing there with someone going, "You need to vote for whichever minor parties."
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm considering running for Parliament.
Yeah, good. I'll vote for you.
Thank you.
I'll vote for all my friends. I guarantee we're not on the same platform. I guarantee. I'm about just slightly left of Stalin, and you're probably somewhere just left of Donald Trump. That's probably where.
Look, I am a Donald fan. He did some great things for America. Come on. He did. Anyway, let's not go there.
Well, we could have a whole podcast on left and right politics.
Absolutely.
I'll bring someone else in. You can bring someone else in. We'll let them go for it.
Yeah.
My friends, I have a friend, a very
I'm anti-authoritarian,
right-wing
so...
Anti-authoritarian. No, I'm anti-authoritarian. I don't think government should be too involved.
Yep.
Every day I have to fill in paperwork for the government for something different. And I complain about it. I do it. I don't argue with them too much, but at the same time, I have been accused of being a drug dealer by Border Force.
Okay.
That I attacked with a nuclear level zeal.
Yep.
So I won that argument. There's been other minor arguments with the government.
Right.
So
for
I don't
cool
like
factor,
them
for cool factor though, you've got that story now. The government.
Oh yeah.
Government think I'm a drug dealer.
Yeah.
You know,
and I wasn't. No, my argument was that we weren't. So.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, but I don't think they should have overreached.
And ultimately, you won that argument.
I prevailed.
Okay. Yes.
Yep, I prevailed. It did cost a lot of money, and I didn't get my money back because apparently they made their assumptions in good faith.
Okay.
And that's non-compensable.
So really, no compensation in those situations. Interesting. No. Even for your legal costs to prove your innocence in a situation. What a fucking democracy. Let me tell you.
Yeah. No, and that was under a Liberal government.
Yes.
So that was under your right-wing fascist regime that you would... But
I was always Labor.
But at the same time, when they pull up things like in New Zealand, these lollies that had methamphetamine in them recently, you do want Border Force doing their job on that. So
all the meth heads would be spewing that they didn't get onto those.
You'd be going down there relieving the charity
There's a queue down
of
the church
those,
at the moment. Yeah.
I do wonder why people that find little sealed parcels on the beach hand them into the police.
Me too.
What are they thinking?
Me too. Or
bags,
suitcase of money.
Sports bag full of cash. I've handed it in.
At the train station a few times.
What? Naval Park's train station.
I don't think you'd be burying your money in Noble Park. I think I'd go to Kew or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, although there's some research which shows that the people in those suburbs are under more financial distress than people in Narrabeen.
Lower socioeconomic areas. That's it.
Yep.
It's true. It's true. But I don't understand what the point is of putting meth in your lollies. What's with that?
To get it past Border Force.
Okay, but then how do you get
so what we will do...
So then how do they end up at the Salvation Army?
Right. Yeah, no, that's right. Somebody's made a mistake somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they wrapped it in that
someone's
inside
tossed
of
them.
So there's a little ball of meth or something.
No, I think it was actually baked into the lolly.
Then how do they get it out? So they're going to go somewhere and they're going to peel all the lolly open and...
we probably could extract it, but if there's a certain amount of meth in there, there's nothing wrong with smoking your boiled lollies, is there? You're smoking the meth anyway.
Well, this is true. They cut it with sugar
It's
anyway,
crystal.
don't they? It probably
Yeah,
makes
that's right.
no... That's right. But it just seems like an interesting transformation method. And I know because I used to work in the fast-moving consumer goods industry.
yeah.
Right?
FMG.
Well, I did. Yeah, I was doing trade documentation and
Yep.
shipping...
a
logistics
logistician.
Yes,
Logistician.
it's a very hard word to say, logistician.
I can't believe I've pulled it out on
International
microphone.
logistics, and we were bringing in food products.
Yep.
And as far as I know, I mean, there's a lot of documentation, which you would know for what you do, for bringing in something like that, a lot of thorough testing and stuff. But I wouldn't have thought that they would go so far as to open a lolly, dissect it, and it's a
there's not a lot of
fantastic
testing.
way to bring in stuff, really.
If
It's
it was a
genius.
more liberal society, not liberal, capital L liberal, liberal as in the Europeans use it, more flexible, we could actually get some meth, we could put it in lollies and we could test it with the ramen and see, but we wouldn't be allowed to do that because to access.
It's illegal. That's
right.
why.
Yeah. It would be a public service though, I would think, because
Yep.
it's always a public service.
Yep.
The health department do know that I test people's gear though.
Okay.
So they do know that we do that.
Okay.
So
Yep.
I think
I feel like I'm having a discussion with Walter White.
there's a lot of
Breaking
bunk.
Bad here right now.
There's a lot of bunk gear out there.
Yes. Oh, absolutely there is.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And the vials and the caps and everything are readily available, and the oils at the supermarket. But at the same time, do you want to be putting vegetable oil from the supermarket into your body
right,
that's elsewhere other than your mouth? Probably not.
From Dandenong Labs.
We're way off topic. I can't remember where we started.
We were
this
talking
is
about
the idea of the first
context of the show and what we're going to discuss.
Yeah, and I think this is giving people a good insight into where the rest of the podcast will be.
Yes.
Although we will have probably some bullet pointed notes so we can stay on track for
We
future
need
ones.
to stay on track, I think.
But this is the inaugural one.
Absolutely.
I will be
Absolutely.
played by Jason Statham.
Look,
You will be played by
do
Pamela
have a
Anderson.
crush on Jason Statham.
He's a good-looking guy, isn't he? For a guy with no hair.
Good-looking cat, I know, for sure.
I have
for sure,
recently
you'd
been
go
trying to
there.
grow
I
my hair
think
back,
you'd
but
probably
it
go
doesn't
there
really
too,
matter.
even.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Yep.
So, look, I want to be played by Pamela Anderson about 10 years ago, though.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not
That's
Pamela
fair.
Anderson now.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
You can do all
Just to
sorts of things with AI.
Yes, you can.
AJ's been working on AI. Maybe we get him to sort us out and we have
Yes.
some avatars instead of
Definitely.
us. It'll be our voices with
I
CGI
like
avatars.
that. I like that. Then don't worry about we're having bad head days.
No, that's right. You just rock up and you stand behind
Exactly,
them. Like a
exactly
radio
right.
DJ, you're standing behind the microphone, doing your bit. and your
Definitely.
Avatars.
Definitely. Because all the podcasts these days, they're all filmed. Pressure. I'm actually wearing no pants right now. Like a newsreader. No.
Yeah, so is this a podcast? I don't know if this is a podcast. Is this a vlogcast?
A vlog.
A vlog?
A vlog?
Vlog? I don't know.
No, I guess it is a vlog,
It's not a TikTok.
isn't it? But it's a cast.
It's not a TikTok.
It's not a TikTok because
long
we're
for
too long.
TikTok.
We're too long, but we could
Finn will do something with
make some
he knows
highlights and make it sound more interesting than it actually
Get
is.
Lola to sort out the TikTok.
Definitely.
Finn will do Instagram. What's the next one? There's another platform. TikTok's surely on the way out.
No, I
It's
think
too late.
No, I think
Snapchat. We could Snapchat
TikTok's
this.
thriving. I think Snapchat's on the way out. I think you've got to be 12 to Snapchat.
Right.
If I met a guy and he's like, Snapchat me, I would never talk to him again ever, I don't think. Gosh,
never
no, I
used
think
Snapchat.
me either. But it started with those funny filters where you could turn yourself into a dog, remember?
okay.
Yeah.
I thought it started with naked photos that disappeared.
Well,
but
maybe, yeah.
No.
I've never had Snapchat, so I can't...
So you're not guilty.
I'm not guilty, you know. I never got all those D-pics.
All right.
Yeah,
So this is the first episode.
done.
Are we done?
Done, we're done.
Good.
We're done.
All right. Remember, Google Scholar. Subscribe below. Leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Thank you, Brad. All right. That wasn't too painful, was it, Finn?